So just yesterday, I made a video about Thiago Moises' potential opponents since I did learn from Thiago Moises' Twitter that Guram Kutateladze had pulled out of the fight. I believe MMA Fighting also tweeted that they were going to be looking for a replacement. So I made a whole video with a list of fighters that potentially could replace Guram and fight Thiago Moises. Some were already in the UFC, some of them weren't. Melquizael Costa was on that list. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is I do apologize for my video delay sort of thing. I record these videos on my laptop with my laptop face cam. But when I move into my flat at university, I'm going to be using my PC, which is, it's not a great PC, but it's decent. Like, it's going to be a lot more powerful than my laptop to record my videos. I'm going to get, like, just a little bit of a better face cam, you know what I mean? But anyway, just thought I'd better say that, so there will be a bit of lag. My laptop is just not handling it right now. But yeah, I'm picking Thiago Moises in the matchup, but I am very happy that Melquizael Costa has been signed. Melquizael Costa, very good prospect. He's fought at LFA multiple times. Well, not actually multiple times. He's fought at LFA twice. Anyways, so he fought at LFA for the first time against Italo Gomez, and I thought he was going to beat Italo Gomez. And if he did beat Italo Gomez, he probably would have just gotten signed to the UFC straight away. But then he lost to Italo Gomez, but then he bounced back with a win. And he beat Junior Melo by finish in the third round, and obviously UFC have probably known about this guy for a while, because he does actually corner a lot of fighters. You do see Melquizael Costa in the background a lot of times in the corner of fighters, I believe. The last time I saw him in the corner of a fighter was against a smaller guy whose name I forgot. Joanderson Brito. I believe it was Joanderson Brito. I think he was in his corner. But I am picking Thiago Moises. I do like Melquizael Costa as a signing to the UFC. I think he is going to lose this one. I think he's going to get submitted in the second or the third round. But I do like the signing because I do think Melquizael Costa from here will win a few fights. I think because he took a short notice fight, the UFC is going to do him a solid. They're going to give him someone really lowly ranked down in the UFC that will be a favourable matchup for him probably, because that's what they do. You do the UFC a favour, the UFC does a favour for you. They'll look after Melquizael Costa, I think, in his next one, but I don't think he's going to get past Moises. Moises is like a borderline top 15 guy. The two guys he's lost to recently are very good fighters. Islam Makhachev, and he took Islam Makhachev to the fourth round in a somewhat competitive fight, which has aged pretty well considering how good Islam Makhachev looked over Charles Oliveira. And then he lost to Yoel Alvarez, but Yoel Alvarez is like a middleweight fighting at lightweight. He's 6'3", he's massive, and then he bounced back against the winner of Christos Giagos, submitted him pretty early on into the fight. I think it was first or second round at the top of my head. But he's got a win over Bobby Green, a win over Alexander Hernandez that hasn't aged that well. But Moises really has made a name for himself as like a guy that is just outside of the top 15. Because the thing is, if Melquizael Costa beat Thiago Moises, he would probably fight Guram Kutateladze next. Or he might even fight something like Drew Dober next. He might even fight Bobby Green next. You know what I mean? Like, the opportunities would be endless, which is why it's a pretty smart decision to take the fight. High risk, I think pretty high reward, because if he does beat Thiago Moises, they're going to give him someone pretty highly ranked. But if he does lose the matchup, he's going to be like looked after by the UFC. UFC is going to give him a favourable matchup in his next one. But Costa's a good guy. Costa's not like a nobody just coming out of nowhere getting signed. He's not like a 5-0 guy that has only fought guys with losing records, or a 6-0 guy that's only fought losing records. I am pointing fingers at some very recent UFC signings, but he's fought good guys. Like, he's fought 13 and even in the losses, he's fought good guys. But in the wins, 13-4, 14-2, 8-2, 10-5, and then 12-5 is his most recently good win. He even had a fight booked against Alexander Shabalai, which would have been interesting. But he lost to 8-2, 7-1, and 10-1 fighters recently. And then the 10-2 Italo Gomez, where he was out-wrestled and grappled off the top of my head from the memory of that fight. So I think that Moises is going to submit him in this one here. The most people picking Moises by submission or decision, I agree, but I do think Moises is going to win by submission. So, good addition to the card. Moises was meant to fight Guram Kutateladze, but now Melquizael Costa is taking that spot. I think it's a great opportunity for him, and I think that he is going to lose, but I do think that Thiago Moises is going to get a submission win. I think Melquizael Costa is going to make a good account for himself in this fight. I think his stock's going to go up even in a loss. So, give me Moises. It'll be interesting to see if Melquizael Costa can make something happen on the feet, because he's a pretty good striker. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one, man. Thanks for watching.